Okay, we're doing cheese omelet just for you, Nikki. You know me, I can't resist if somebody wants something, especially when it comes to cooking. So, I'm gonna do 2 eggs. It's gonna be a smaller omelet. I'm using my smaller pan. We have the pan on medium-low heat. I'm gonna put, usually the first omelet I put a little more butter, so I put a tablespoon in. Omelets after this, probably just like half a tablespoon or even less. Melt the butter. You want that to go until the foaming stops. While you're waiting for that, you can get your eggs ready. So I've got 2 eggs in my pan, my bowl here. I do a little splash of milk, probably about a tablespoon or so. A little bit of salt, don't need a whole lot. And a little bit of pepper. There we go. Okay, we'll mix this up. So the butter starts to turn a little bit brown here. My pan was pretty hot, but it's fine. It gives it a nice nutty flavor. There we go, as the foaming is subsiding there. Got my eggs ready. Give the butter one more swirl around to make sure the pan's all the way coated. And you just pour the eggs in. Turn right around this way, a little more even. Okay, so we let this cook until it's almost completely solid. If you don't let it cook through, you won't be able to flip it over without breaking it. That's why I cook it down on medium-low. And we'll let this cook for a minute or so, and then we'll be ready to turn it over. Okay, so as you see, it's pretty much almost all the way solid on the top here. So now we're gonna flip it over. Sometimes this is the hardest part, is getting the spatula under there without breaking the omelet. So flip it over. So pretty. And we add a little bit of cheese. I use sharp cheddar because then you get lots of flavor with a little bit less of the cheese. Oh dear, I didn't get it flipped over all the way. Sometimes that happens. You want to get it folded as much even as possible for when you turn it over. And it'll be fine. The cheese will fill in that hole. So cook it for about 30 seconds. Because as you remember, it was almost cooked all the way through. So it doesn't need a whole lot of time on this other side. Just pretty much enough time to cook the little bit of egg that wasn't solidified and melt the cheese. So about probably 30 seconds to a minute on each side, and it's ready. Alright, so now it's ready. Cheese is oozing everywhere, which means it's good. I just scoop it out onto the plate. And like I said, the pan's ready for another omelet now. Maybe just a little sliver of butter to grease it. And if you want to be fancy, my kids always like a little extra cheese. Put a little cheese on top. So, I don't know how everybody else makes omelets, but that's how I do it. Love you, Nikki.